Welcome to my channel. Value quarter dollar. The obverse front of the coin features a portrait of John F. Kennedy, continuing the design first introduced on the half dollar in 1964. Above the portrait appears the word liberty, while the national motto, "In God We Trust," is displayed below the neck. Unlike ordinary Kennedy half dollars, the date on the bicentennial issue is shown as 1776. 1976, representing the span from the signing of the United States Declaration of Independence to the nation's bicentennial year. No half dollars dated 1975 were produced. All bicentennial half dollars bear the dual date 1776 to 1976. The reverse back design was created by Seth G. Huntington. It depicts Independence Hall, the historic building in Philadelphia where the Declaration of Independence was debated and adopted and where the U.S. Constitution was later signed. Above the building is the inscription, United States of America, while below appears the denomination, half dollar. Surrounding the design is the Latin motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many. 1. Reflecting the union of many states and peoples into a single nation. Independence Hall is one of the most important historic sites in the United States. Construction began in 1732 and was completed in 1753. During the American Revolution, it served as a meeting place for the Second Continental Congress. On July 4, 1776, delegates approved the Declaration of Independence there, formally announcing the colony's separation from United Kingdom. Later, in 1787, representatives gathered in the same building to draft and sign the United States Constitutional Convention, creating the framework of the modern American government. The bicentennial celebration of 1976 was a nationwide event across the United States. Americans marked 200 years of independence with parades, historical reenactments, exhibitions, educational programs, fireworks displays, and commemorative products. The U.S. Mint issued special bicentennial versions of the quarter, half dollar, and dollar coin. These coins were intended not only for circulation but also as historical keepsakes. Millions were produced at the mint facilities in Philadelphia, Denver, and San Francisco. Most bicentennial half dollars were struck in a copper nickel-clad composition for circulation. Special collector editions were also minted in 40% silver. The coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, a weight of approximately 11.34 grams for the clad version, and a reeded edge, although the coin remains legal tender with a face value of 50 cents. Many people save it because of its historical significance and distinctive dual-date design. The phrase, liberty, symbolizes the fundamental American ideal of freedom. "In God We Trust" became an official national motto of the United States in 1956 and appears on U.S. currency and coins. E pluribus unum has been used on American coins since the 18th century and expresses the concept that a single nation emerged from multiple colonies and states. Together, these inscriptions connect the bicentennial half dollar to the country's political ideals, historical traditions, and national identity. From a collector's perspective, the 1776 to 1976 bicentennial half dollar is one of the most recognizable modern U.S. commemorative coins. While ordinary circulated examples are generally common, uncirculated specimens, proof coins, and silver versions are more sought after. The coin serves as a miniature historical monument, linking the founding era of 1776 with the bicentennial celebrations of 1976. Through its image of Independence Hall and its patriotic inscriptions, it commemorates 2 centuries of American history, independence, constitutional government, and national unity. In summary, the 1776 to 1976 United States bicentennial half dollar is a special Kennedy half dollar issued to celebrate 200 years of American independence. Its front features John F. Kennedy with the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," while its reverse shows Independence Hall with United States of America, half dollar, and E pluribus unum. The coin remains a popular collectible because it combines historical symbolism, patriotic themes, and an important milestone in the history of the United States. The next top The 1971 United States half dollar is officially known as the 1971 Kennedy half dollar, a coin that honors John F. Kennedy, who was assassinated in 1963. The Kennedy half-dollar series began in 1964 as a national tribute to the late president and quickly became one of the most recognized coins in American history. The 1971 issue is especially important because it marked the first year that the half-dollar was produced without any silver content. Earlier Kennedy half-dollars contained either 90% silver, 1964, or 40% silver, 1965. 1970, but rising silver prices led the United States Mint to change the composition in 1971 to a copper nickel-clad structure. The coin weighs approximately 11.34 grams, measures about 30.6 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge. Millions of these coins were struck at the Philadelphia and Denver mints, making them common in circulation and among collectors today. Kennedy half-dollars.net +1 on the front, obverse, of the coin is a left-facing portrait of President Kennedy designed by sculptor and engraver Gilroy Roberts. Around the top edge appears the word, liberty, one of the most important concepts in American history and government. At the bottom is the date, 1971. Between the portrait and the date is the national motto, "In God We Trust." This phrase became the official motto of the United States in 1956 and appears on all modern American coins and paper money. The placement of the motto on the Kennedy half-dollar is distinctive because Kennedy's neck divides the words, creating a balanced design. The portrait itself is based on an official presidential medal and captures Kennedy's youthful appearance, reflecting the optimism many Americans associated with his presidency. Coin Week +1. The reverse, back, of the coin was designed by Frank Gasparo and features a heraldic eagle inspired by the presidential seal of the United States. The eagle spreads its wings while holding an olive branch, symbolizing peace, and a bundle of arrows, symbolizing military strength and readiness to defend the nation. A shield covers the eagle's chest, representing protection and unity. Surrounding the eagle are 50 stars representing the 50 states of the Union. Along the upper rim appears the inscription, United States of America, while the denomination, half-dollar, appears below. Above the eagle is a ribbon containing the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, which translates to, out of many, one. This historic motto reflects the idea that many states, cultures, and peoples come together to form one nation. It has been used on American coins since the 18th century and remains one of the most meaningful symbols of national unity. Coin Week +2. Collectors often study the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar because it represents a major transition in American coinage. The removal of silver ended an era that had lasted for generations. While most 1971 half-dollars are worth only face value or a small premium in circulated condition, coins preserved in exceptional mint condition can be worth considerably more. Special proof versions were produced at the San Francisco Mint for collectors and feature mirror-like surfaces and sharper details. Rare mint errors, such as examples accidentally struck on leftover silver planchets, are extremely valuable and have sold for thousands of dollars. Because of these possibilities, coin enthusiasts carefully examine Kennedy half-dollars for unusual characteristics, die varieties, and high-grade preservation. Coins value +1. Historically, the 1971 Kennedy half-dollar also reflects changes in American society and commerce. By the early 1970s, half-dollars were no longer widely used in everyday transactions. Many vending machines, cash registers, and businesses did not regularly handle 50-cent coins, causing them to circulate less frequently than quarters or dimes. As a result, many Americans saved Kennedy half-dollars as souvenirs or keepsakes rather than spending them. This habit, combined with public interest in President Kennedy's legacy, helped make the coin one of the most collected modern U.S. coins. Even today, many people encounter a Kennedy half-dollar only occasionally, making it an interesting piece of American monetary history. Coin Week +1. The inscriptions on the 1971 coin carry deep symbolic meaning. liberty, represents the founding principles of the United States and the freedoms protected by the Constitution. In God We Trust, expresses a traditional national belief and has appeared on American currency for generations. United States of America identifies the issuing nation, while half dollar states the denomination. E pluribus unum emphasizes unity among diverse states and citizens. Together with Kennedy's portrait and the presidential eagle, these inscriptions transform the coin from a simple piece of currency into a miniature work of art that tells a story about American history, government, national identity, and remembrance. For many collectors, the 1971 Kennedy half dollar is not merely 50 cents. It is a symbol of a significant transition in U.S. coinage and a lasting memorial to one of the nation's most remembered presidents. The next top. The United States of America 1985 P. Kennedy half dollar is one of the most recognizable modern American coins. It carries the portrait of John F. Kennedy, whose image has appeared on the half dollar since 1964 following his assassination in 1963. The P. Mint mark indicates that the coin was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. In 1985, the Philadelphia Mint produced approximately 18.7 million of these half dollars for circulation. Although half dollars were still legal tender and produced every year, by the mid-1980s they were rarely seen in everyday commerce because Americans preferred quarters, dollar bills, and other denominations. As a result, many 1985 half dollars were saved in rolls, mint sets, and collections, which is why uncirculated examples remain common today. The coin has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, weighs 11.34 grams, and is made of a copper-nickel-clad composition consisting of outer layers of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core. It contains no silver, since regular Kennedy half dollars stopped containing silver after 1970. USA Coin Book +1 on the front, obverse, of the coin, the word, liberty, curves around the upper edge. The national motto, In God We Trust, is divided by Kennedy's neck, with, In God, on the left and, We Trust, on the right. The date 1985 appears at the bottom. The portrait was designed by Gilroy Roberts, who based it on an official presidential medal. Kennedy is shown facing left with carefully detailed hair and facial features. The small mint mark, P, appears near the lower portion of the portrait, identifying Philadelphia as the mint of origin. During the 1980s, Philadelphia coins once again carried the P mark, making it easy for collectors to distinguish them from Denver, D, and San Francisco, S, issues. The obverse design reflects ideals of freedom, patriotism, and remembrance of a president whose image remains deeply associated with American history. CoinValueChecker.com +1. The reverse side features the presidential seal designed by Frank Gasparro. At the center is a heraldic eagle with wings spread wide. In its left talon, the eagle holds an olive branch symbolizing peace, while in its right talon it grasps 13 arrows representing the nation's readiness to defend itself. Above the eagle's head are 13 stars representing the original colonies. Flowing from the eagle's beak is a banner bearing the Latin phrase, E pluribus unum, which translates as, out of many, one. This motto reflects the idea that many states, peoples, and backgrounds unite to form one nation. Around the outer rim appear the inscriptions, United States of America, and half dollar. Small, FG, initials beneath. The eagle identify Frank Gasparro as the reverse designer. The combination of the eagle, stars, arrows, olive branch, and Latin motto creates a powerful representation of American unity, strength, and national identity. CoinValueChecker.com +1 for collectors. The 1985 P. Kennedy half dollar is generally considered a common coin, especially in circulated grades. Most examples are worth only face value or a small premium. However, exceptionally well-preserved pieces certified in very high mint state grades can command significant prices. Because truly flawless examples are surprisingly scarce, collectors also look for unusual mint errors, doubled dies, off-center strikes, and other production abnormalities. since many 1985 half dollars were stored rather than circulated. The series provides an interesting opportunity for new collectors to assemble attractive examples without spending large amounts of money. The coin represents an important period in the Kennedy half-dollar series when the denomination had largely disappeared from daily use yet continued to be produced as a symbol of American coinage tradition. Coin identifier +2. The inscriptions found on the coin carry important meanings. Liberty represents the freedom upon which the United States was founded. In God We Trust became the official national motto of the United States in the 20th century and appears on all modern American coins. E pluribus unum has been used on U.S. coinage since the 18th century and emphasizes national unity despite diverse origins. Together with the image of President Kennedy and the presidential seal, these inscriptions transform the 1985 P half dollar from a simple piece of currency into a small historical document that reflects American political ideals, culture, history, and national symbolism. For many collectors, this combination of historical significance, patriotic imagery, and connection to President Kennedy makes the 1985 P. Kennedy half dollar one of the most enduring and recognizable coins in modern American numismatics. The next top. The 1988 P. United States half dollar is a coin of the United States worth 50 cents and was struck at the United States Mint facility in Philadelphia Mint. The P. Mint mark indicates that it was produced in Philadelphia, which by 1988 routinely placed mint marks on circulating coinage. This coin belongs to the long-running Kennedy half-dollar series, first issued in 1964 shortly after the assassination of John F. Kennedy. The obverse, front, of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Kennedy designed by Gilroy Roberts. Around the portrait appear several inscriptions that carry historical, political, and cultural significance. At the top is the word, liberty, a concept deeply rooted in American political philosophy and national identity. Below Kennedy's neck is the date, 1988, identifying the year of issue. The phrase, "In God We Trust," appears prominently on the front of the coin. This motto became increasingly common on U.S. coinage during the 19th century and was officially adopted as the national motto of the United States in 1956. The placement of, "In God We Trust," on the Kennedy half dollar reflects the country's tradition of including religiously themed national mottos on currency while remaining a secular constitutional republic. The reverse, back, of the 1988 P. Kennedy half dollar features the presidential seal. Inspired heraldic eagle design created by Frank Gasparo. The eagle is shown with its wings spread, clutching an olive branch and arrows, symbolizing both peace and readiness to defend the nation. A shield covers the eagle's chest, representing protection and strength. Above the eagle is a constellation of stars symbolizing the states of the Union. Around the upper edge appears United States of America, while the denomination, half dollar, is inscribed below. One of the most significant inscriptions on the reverse is, E pluribus unum, a Latin phrase meaning, out of many, one. The phrase reflects the idea that many states, peoples, and backgrounds unite to form a single nation. It has been associated with the United States since the 18th century and appears on many American coins and official symbols. The motto captures the concept of national unity amid diversity and remains one of the most recognized Latin phrases in American history. The 1988 P half dollar was struck primarily for circulation, although half dollars saw limited everyday use by the late 20th century compared with quarters and dollar bills. Many examples entered storage, collections, and bank reserves rather than heavy circulation. As a result, large numbers survive in relatively high grades today. The coin is composed of a copper-nickel-clad construction consisting of outer layers of copper nickel bonded to a pure copper core. This composition was adopted for half dollars beginning in 1971 after the discontinuation of silver content in regular circulation Kennedy half dollars. The coin weighs approximately 11.34 grams, has a diameter of 30.6 millimeters, and features a reeded edge. Its metallic composition gives it durability suitable for circulation while reducing the cost associated with precious metal coinage. From a numismatic perspective, the 1988 P. Kennedy half-dollar is generally considered a common date issue because of its substantial mintage. Collectors often seek examples in uncirculated condition, especially those displaying strong strikes, minimal contact marks, and attractive luster. Coins certified in the highest mint state grades can command premiums because truly exceptional specimens are more difficult to locate despite the large number produced. Errors and varieties, such as doubled dies, off-center strikes, or planchet irregularities, are also of interest to specialists, although they are much less common than standard examples. The artistic design of the Kennedy half-dollar reflects a blend of memorialization and national symbolism. Kennedy's portrait was rapidly prepared and approved in 1964 as a tribute to the late president. The obverse portrait captures a dignified and recognizable image of Kennedy, while the reverse eagle design emphasizes the authority and continuity of the federal government. Together with inscriptions such as, "Liberty, in God we trust," "United States of America," and "E pluribus unum," the coin functions not only as currency but also as a miniature representation of American history, values, and civic identity. The phrase, "liberty," on the coin traces its roots to ideals expressed during the American Revolution and the founding of the nation. Liberty has appeared on U.S. coinage since the earliest years of the Republic and serves as a reminder of individual rights and self-government. "In God We Trust" reflects a historical tradition of invoking divine guidance and national faith, while "E pluribus unum" emphasizes unity among diverse states and citizens. The combination of these inscriptions presents a layered message about freedom, belief, and national cohesion. For collectors, historians, and students of American culture, the 1988 P. Kennedy half-dollar provides a tangible artifact through which these themes can be examined and appreciated. Today, the 1988 P. Kennedy half-dollar remains widely collected as part of date and mint mark sets, Kennedy series collections, and broader collections of modern U.S. coinage. Although it generally carries modest value in circulated condition, pristine uncirculated examples, certified high-grade specimens, and unusual mint errors may be worth considerably more. Beyond its monetary value, the coin serves as a historical object connecting the legacy of President Kennedy, the evolution of U.S. currency, and the enduring national mottos, "In God We Trust," and "E pluribus unum." As a result, the 1988 P. Kennedy half-dollar occupies an important place in modern American numismatic history and continues to attract interest from collectors around the world.